Who knew junior high school girls could be so cruel? See, fifth grade wasn't kind enough to warn her that for the next 3 years she'd become the object of ridicule. I guess you picked up a new hobby. See, I was that girl in junior high you loved to make fun of. You know, the one who had a few friends, but friends not real enough to have her back when she swore she didn't just get jumped. You know, the girl they were ashamed of? And she convinced herself that she was tripping. That they weren't just standing there cheering her on as if a 10-year-old stood a chance against 3 girls who hit her like they hated her. It was no wonder she fights like a dude now. Junior high school girls are mean. She was the one who was told that if she wanted to have that boy like her, she'd practically have to change everything about her, like her clothes. Clothes she could no longer fit in, but all she wanted was to fit in. However, puberty had something else in mind. Mommy tried her best, but living lower class meant she had to be creative. Like coming up with different combinations of outfits, hoping to God you wouldn't notice that she wore the same pair of jeans every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because those were her favorite, she'd tell herself. And they seemed cool enough to slip under the radar of judgmental lasers everyone in her school seemed to have. But she never knew it was a game of laser tag. The junior high school girls are cruel. See, she was the eldest of 3, so she didn't get any hand-me-downs from older siblings. And it wasn't like mommy didn't want to, it was just mommy couldn't afford to. But one day she was lucky enough to get those all-white Nike Uptowns that were then a lighter shade of gray, but beggars can't be choosers. Thank God her friend wanted to get rid of them that day. But they were 2 sizes too big. So she wore like 4 pair of socks so they wouldn't slip off her size 3 feet as she walked down the block. She walked past you and you still noticed. You still pointed out that she could never amount to the unattainable of being popular. The way you measured her worth as if she couldn't tell the difference between an inch and a foot. Though you never did take the time to walk a mile in her shoes, I guess it was because you was too busy laughing at her shoes. That ruler was way too big. The junior high school girls are mean. She was the one who could never live up to the perfect standard of junior high. You know, the one they'd pass notes around the class about but pretended she didn't notice. You know, the one who barely passed math because she couldn't focus. I know you remember that girl. Because she equated being smart with being a target and she didn't want the attention. So she felt it wasn't worth trying to get A's, abandoned dreams of becoming a doctor. But can I mention that she had the intelligence to be valedictorian? But she dumbed herself down because she didn't want you to think that she thought she was better than you. After school, she prayed to God you weren't around because she knew you were the type who'd wait outside for her. As she'd walk past, you'd whisper loud enough for her to hear. It was a little game you and your friends played. Knowing she wouldn't fight back because she didn't have the courage to speak up for herself. It's sad that you became the very thoughts that determined everything she felt. I swear you junior high school girls are evil. She was the one who stared in the mirror when she got home every day after school. I mean every day after school. As she sat on the bathroom sink, critically examining her features as if she held a PhD in physiognomy, trying to figure out what was wrong with her. Yo, God must have made a mistake. Putting slanted eyes with the nose she felt was way too big for her face. She hated her forehead. And it didn't help that cornrows only made it look bigger. So you were the one who told her that if she wanted to be pretty, she had to have long hair. And it didn't count if she added extensions. That was a little unfair, don't you think? When every other female on her mama's side had good hair, I guess it was her daddy's genes. You junior high school girls are evil. Did you know she wanted to die? That she begged her mother to let her stay home every day of the week, pretending to be sick, just so she wouldn't have to endure walking through the hallways. Or standing on the lunch line she'd often get off of knowing she was hungry. But starving was way better than being pointed at by girls whose eyes seemed to have a habit of rolling back into their heads whenever they saw her. I didn't know it had a name, what y'all did to me back then. Bullying, it's what they call it now. But it affected me so deeply that even 18 years later, I found myself searching for you guys on Facebook. But don't get it twisted. Not because I wanted to be friends, y'all never did afford me that opportunity anyways. but because there was a part of me who wanted y'all to see that I am dope now. And everything y'all used to tease me about have now become a trend. It's strange. Laughing because I had no hair, now it's short hair, don't care wave. It's crazy how times change. But junior high school girls are still mean. But I'm hoping that this poem will encourage those of you who are way too dope to allow the ignorance of those who never did deserve you control you. Don't you know that you are beautiful? That you are awesome, that you are intelligent, that you are everything they could only aspire to be. And while junior high school girls will always be mean, they could never put together a more powerful piece. How you can flip the script on bullying and close the chapters of what used to be. So little girl, you don't have to be mean. You just adjust your crown, lift your head high, wipe those tears, and walk away like a queen.